Most business owners think that luxury means adding more. Better packaging, more services, a fancier logo, a higher price tag. But Chanel, one of the most recognized luxury brands in history, became iconic by doing the exact opposite. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how they did it and how you can apply it as a small business owner. In 1910, Gabrielle Chanel opened a small hat boutique on Rue Cambon in Paris. No fashion empire, no celebrity deals, just hats. But the hats were worn by French actresses, and that changed everything. Within 5 years, she had opened boutiques in Deauville and Biarritz. She was selling jersey sportswear, a fabric that had only ever been used in men's underwear, and making women feel free in it. By 1918, she purchased the building at 31 Rue Cambon. Boutiques, salons, and workshops all under one roof. That address still exists today, almost unchanged. Here's what's important. Chanel did not start by trying to be everything. She started with a specific point of view. Women should be able to move. Comfort is not the enemy of elegance. Simple is not the same as cheap. That point of view became a brand. In 1926, Chanel introduced something so simple it should not have worked. A black dress. No ornamentation, no color, no excess. Fashion at the time was layered, embellished, and complicated. Black was associated with mourning. Chanel turned it into a symbol of power. The Victoria and Albert Museum describes the little black dress as a global hit. Not because it was complicated, but because of its radical versatility and restraint. Think about that for a moment. A product became iconic because of what it didn't do. This is the core Chanel principle. Premium is edited. The customer feels the discipline behind the design, the choices that were made, the things that were removed. That restraint signaled confidence, and confidence is what luxury actually sells. The opposite of luxury is not cheap. The opposite of luxury is cluttered. Now, let's get into the actual moves, because this is where it gets very interesting for you as a business owner. Move number 1. Chanel created a named hero product. What does that mean? In 1921, she launched number 5, not Chanel Floral, not Gabrielle's signature scent, just number 5. A number, that's it, and it became one of the most recognized fragrance names in history. Why? Because it was simple enough to repeat. Hero products make a brand memorable. They give people something to say when they talk about you. Move number 2. She created accessible entry points. Couture was expensive. Most people couldn't afford it. But fragrance, lipstick, skincare, suddenly anyone could buy into the Chanel world. Chanel understood this in 1924 when she formalized her perfume and cosmetic company. She made the brand wider without making the brand cheaper. Move number 3. She attached the brand to the right people. Early on, actresses wore her hats. Then in 1931, she went to Hollywood to dress United Artists, actresses. By 1950s, Marilyn Monroe had tied herself to number 5 in popular culture. In the 1960s, Elizabeth Taylor, Jane Fonda, Jackie Kennedy, all Chanel. Luxury grows when the right people are seen with the brand. Not just any people, the right people. The people your audience already looks up to. Move 4. She turned the 2.55 bag into a statement. The kilted handbag launched in February 1955. That's where the name comes from. The chain strap was functional. It freed the hands, but it became iconic because a practical detail was executed with so much intention that it stopped being just a bag and it became a symbol. Function plus meaning equals luxury. Here's one of the most powerful things Chanel ever did, and most people never talk about it. They trained the market to recognize the brand without needing a logo. Black and white, tweed, the kilted pattern, chains, pearls, camellia, and the number 5, 31 Rue Cambon. These codes were repeated for decades. across products, campaigns, until recognition became automatic, until seeing a kilted bag or a black and white palette and thinking Chanel was completely involuntary. That's not luck, that's discipline. Repetition is a strategy. Here's why this matters so much. Codes create memory. Memory creates status. Status creates better power. When people can recognize your brand by feel, before they even see your name, you have achieved something most businesses will never. And you don't need a century to do it. You need consistency. In 2025 alone, Chanel reported over $19 billion in revenue. They invested nearly $2.5 billion specifically in brand activities and client engagement. They opened more than 40 boutiques, and they invested over $700 million in the long-standing craft suppliers. That last number is the one I want you to think about. Chanel spends hundreds of millions of dollars on the people who make the things. They acquired embroidery houses, shoemakers, button makers. Why? Because craft is not just a production, it's marketing. When a customer understands the invisible work behind the final result, they pay more willingly. And it's not just products. Chanel funds cultural projects, exhibitions, and art programs. They have a foundation. They've taken their archives on tour. They don't just sell things, they behave like a cultural institution. Because luxury, it's not about transactions, it's about a world. And every time a customer interacts with that world, in a boutique, in a campaign, at an event, through packaging, the perception of value compounds. So let me give you the Chanel playbook. Translated for your business. 6 moves. 1. Choose your enemy wisely. State clearly what your brand is against. Chanel was against restriction, excess, and decoration for its own sake. What are you against? 2. Reduce your offer menu. Too many services make a brand feel less premium, not more capable. Make it easy for people to understand what you do. 3. Build your codes. Choose the visual and verbal signals you want to repeat, and then repeat them relentlessly. Stop switching, start compounding. 4. Create an entry product, not a discount, a well-designed experience that allows another person to enter your world at a lower commitment. 5. Show the process. Make the invisible work visible through your camera. The more your clients understand what goes into what you do, the more they understand why the price is right. 6. Design every single touch point. Discovery call, proposal, invoice, onboarding, deliver, follow up. Everything should feel like it's designed, not just made up. And that's not overthinking. That is brand discipline, and that is luxury. Chanel didn't become a luxury brand by being louder than everybody else. They became iconic by being clearer, more disciplined, and more consistent. You don't need a $1 billion budget to position your business as premium. You need a point of view, and you need codes that you commit to. You need an experience that feels intentional from the very first step. Luxury is not what you add. Luxury is what you remove, control, and repeat. If this gave you something useful, share it with another business owner that is ready to stop competing on price.